Hey guys, Beverly Moore here, and we're going to talk today about nutrition and hydration for your endurance events. So specifically, we do have some Spartan races coming up in Fayetteville, North Carolina. It's going to be really hot. So in Fayetteville, they've got the Ultra Beast, which is 50K. That's going to be 30 plus miles, and it's going to be really hot. So we're going to talk about that a little bit towards the end. But the Beast, the Super, and the Sprint, you're going to need to really prepare so that you don't get dehydrated, so that you can function, especially if you're doing all three events. Even if you're just doing one event, you want to make sure that you're prepared so that you have the best time that you can have. So right now, you should already be drinking 1 gallon of water a day, period. As that builds up and gets a little closer the whole week prior, go ahead and try to build that up to about 1.5 gallons of water. And then I always recommend on like the Tuesday or Wednesday prior, start with something like a pint of the electrolytes, like Gatorade Zero, Powerade Zero. You don't need to add the extra sugar then, but you do need the electrolytes. So I kind of like to preload those, and that's just something easy that you can find. If you have some that you like that are different than that, that's fine, whatever you like. But again, you don't need the sugar to be added in building up to that. But you do need the electrolytes, and make sure that you have a good foundation of that. So you've got your 1.5 gallons of water, you got your electrolyte kind of build up there, and then that starts the Tuesday, Wednesday before. So also, people talk about, carb loading. So if you're eating a good normal diet, you could add maybe 500 extra calories in, especially if you're doing the Ultra or the Beast. But if you're doing the Super or the Sprint, there's really no need to add any extra calories in what you're normally eating. That would be just like a normal hour to 2, maybe 3-hour workout. So whatever you would do for that. The thing is you've got to be practicing that stuff now. You should not wait till the week of to practice that. So that's why I want to go ahead and get this information out there a little bit ahead of time, so that you have at least another weekend or two to practice on your long runs, some nutrition stuff that you can practice. So I'm going to show you what I've got set up for the event, and it's going to be some videos, some pictures, and we're going to talk about it as we go along. If you're doing the Ultra, you definitely need to take some hydration with you, and I would recommend having something like Cytomax, Heed, or Tailwind in your pack, because that's going to be, it's a combination of carbs. It's like a starchy carb, so it's going to be electrolytes and almost like eating a sweet potato. Let's just think about it like that. So drinking a Gatorade and eating a sweet potato at the same time. It tastes good. It tastes like Gatorade basically, so the same flavor. So try those kinds of things, but it's going to give you more nutrition than just electrolytes, because you do need that time release of those carbs building up to that, especially if you're doing long stuff. And maybe even in the Beast, that's not a bad idea for that, especially being as hot as it's going to be. I would definitely recommend carrying a backpack for that. So also, you want to carry something that is nutritious. So I recommend, you'll see in the pictures, you'll see the Uncrustables, but you could make yourself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or a peanut butter and honey. You can take granola bars, and I've got an assortment here, Pop-Tarts, anything like that you like. Any kind of granola bar, just whatever that you like that sits well on your stomach. I've got some honey stinger waffles. Those are really good because they've got a good combination of low glycemic and fast carbs, higher sugar carbs. That way you got some, again, kind of a time release going on with the carbs. You want to make sure that you're taking something in for those long events every 30 minutes. I cannot stress that enough. You could time it at 2 miles or you could time it at 30 minutes. Do not wait till you bonk. So if you're taking in like goo or sports beans or Cliff Blocks, you'll see all of those in my videos and pictures. Again, whatever you like. I like to say a 2-to-1 ratio, especially on the Ultras. So you want 2 food items to 1 of the goo items. Think about that for a minute, because if you do too many of those goos, it's going to make your stomach kind of upset, and you don't want to do that. So practice that and see what you can take in, but that's usually what I recommend for the long ones. and do it every 30 minutes. For the beast, same kind of thing. You want to get those goos in about the 30 to 45 minute mark. Don't wait. Don't wait until you feel like you need it. When you feel like you need it, it's too far gone. So you want to keep those blood sugars level. So by the time that ingests and then gets into your system, if you take it at the 30-minute mark, you're now at the 45-minute mark. And you've got enough glycogen and enough electrolytes in your system to last you about 45 minutes to an hour. So again, you don't want to get to where it's too low and then pick yourself back up. That's when you're going to run into problems. You definitely want to take it earlier and then let it go ahead and get ingested, and then it's going to be keeping those level instead of diving. So really practice that. Now you should be into your long runs already. Some of you have already done an ultra. We had the Ohio Ultra. So you may have already practiced this stuff, but some people who are new to these longer endurance events, they might not be used to actually eating while you're running. So you definitely need to be eating while you're running. Like I said, you'll be going like peanut butter and jelly and all kinds of stuff. So next I'm going to show you my backpacks and my hydration kit. Okay, so I'm going to take a 1.5 liter. That is big enough. You don't need anything bigger. You don't want anything weighing you down. You could even go with a 1 liter if you wanted to, but I wouldn't go less than a 1 liter. 1.5 is what I'm going to take. You could get a 2 or 3, but then that's going to be more weight. So think about that. You don't want that sloshing around. So this 1.5 liter for me fits in my Camelback. Now I'm only doing the Beast. So this is enough for me. And I can stick a couple of goo in the pouches. There's a little zipper pouch there. I can stick it inside, like once I put my water in, I can stick it in there and have a couple of extras. But I'll also wear some shorts that have little pouches on the side as well. If you're doing an ultra, I would suggest something a little bit bigger. You see, this one has a lot more room to it. It's not big though. It's still going to be just big enough to have your 1.5 liter, but also like a gallon Ziploc baggie with all of your nutrition items in there. So you'll see later my picture of my drop bucket I had for my very first ultra that I did. And so I put everything in Ziploc baggies, so then you come and trade it out. We'll talk about that later. So here are just a couple of examples. Pop-Tarts. Oh, it's upside down. My OCD can't take that. There you go. Pop-Tarts, Singer waffles, and then the sports beans. You've got goo. You've got other things. I'm going to show you a video from Walmart. You can get some of these. All this stuff you can get at Walmart, but you don't need to go anywhere fancy. But Vitamin Shop, the cycling shops like Performance Cycle or REI, they have a really good selection. You think REI? Those are endurance events. People climbing mountains and doing endurance events like that, and that's definitely things that they need there. So go to REI, get an assortment, or go to Walmart and check out the Walmart section in the running section. So that's what I have right here. Also, don't forget, if you're wearing shorts and tank tops, you might want to put on some of this anti-chafe. My Thunder Thighs definitely need some anti-chafe. So, okay. Alright, so I'm here at Walmart in the running section. You see they have like running vests and all kinds of belts and all kinds of stuff. But this is what I wanted to show you. You can find all kinds of things at Walmart. You don't have to go anywhere fancy. So sport beans, 3 different kinds of sport beans, Body Glide, all kinds of liquid gels, goo, Cliff Shots, Cliff Blocks, the Honey Stinger ones as well. So these are all pretty much kind of the same type of product. Same thing with the Gatorade Energy Chews. So it's whichever ones that you choose that you like. So between this, Gatorade, Cliff, sport beans, or like a gel type of product. So any of those that you like are going to give you electrolytes, a little bit of sugar, and some low glycemic carbs. So that's going to be replacing your electrolytes. You want to take that in about every 30 minutes or so. Well, you're going to take nutrition, and we're going to talk about that later, so forget what I said there. But you also have like Stinger waffles. Those are really good for a carb sugar balance to give you some energy that's going to be food that settles better on your stomach. So that's pretty much what I wanted to show you at the Walmart. I've got some other products that I'm going to go over that are at the vitamin shop. And then we're going to talk about like how to pack and what to put in your stuff. There's also Noon is here. I'm not really a fan of Noon, but that's just my preference. It's a good product. A lot of people like it. I just don't like the fizziness of it, but it's electrolytes as well, so I don't want to leave that out if you like Noon. So that's another product. And then another one as well. I've never tried this brand, so let's see what's in there. You can see that's kind of the product list. But they're all the same. It's just a matter of what you like and what your stomach can take. All right, Uncrustables, peanut butter and jelly, peanut butter and honey, whatever you like. So having products like your goo little gel packs are very convenient. Hammer gel, whatever kind that you like, because it's like the Gatorade, but it's concentrated. And then if you wanted something like Extend in your backpack, that's just going to be your BCAAs and electrolytes, but it doesn't have carbs. So if you're going for the Ultra Beast or longer endurance, you're going to definitely need the carbs of like the Tailwind, the Cytomax, or the Heed that you see here. These contain a product called maltodextrin, and you've got your electrolytes as well. So the maltodextrin is your starchy carb. So think about that's your sweet potato. So try some of those and see what sits well on your stomach. I've had them all. I like them all. I feel like they do the same thing, but different people like different things. And then when you have some sea salt on hand or some salt tabs, those are really good to have every once in a while. Again, that'll just help keep your electrolytes boosted up. And then as an emergency, have some yellow mustard packs. And don't forget your sunscreen. So here's an example of a couple of my drop buckets for the Ultras. Each side of those items will be for a lap, so I'll put all of my nutrition items in a gallon Ziploc bag. I'll have some extra shoes, maybe some duct tape, my headlamps, and my gloves, or in the drop bucket. A bucket is good because if you need to sit down for a minute, you can. M&Ms or some sort of treat like a Snicker bar is always fun to have in the middle. I always suggest also like a flat Coke. You don't see that pictured here, but a flat Coke, and I've even had a Monster energy drink in there before as well. So whatever your items are, have them ready to go and in a Ziploc bag. So all you have to do is trade it out really fast. And that's going to help you in that Ultra. You don't want to sit in that transition area at all. You want to get in, get out. Even a can of chicken soup is really good to have in there. I don't eat meat, so I don't have chicken soup in mine. But I sometimes put rice with soy sauce, which is really good as well. Okay, so I hope some of that helps. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to inbox me. Again, I'm not a nutritionist, but I am a nutritional consultant. But I have done an awful lot of endurance events, Ironman triathlons, and lots of hurricane heats and several ultras. So I have done the trial and error, so I know what works. And that's what paying a personal trainer does for you too, so that we have already made all the mistakes, so hopefully you don't make those too. But anyways, just let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you guys have the best time ever. Can't wait for Fayetteville. That's my favorite race because it's home and it's at Fort Bragg. So, all right, good luck. See you soon.